Ei Gude!
Ei Gude Wie, and warm welcome to this Peacemakers podcast. We are today sitting in the park, so don't be surprised if you hear some birds, some wind, but also some cars, because we're still in the middle of Frankfurt at Bethmann Park today. Martin, what are we doing here today?
We had a creative writing workshop, so we sat down and we thought about what impact our words can have. With the slogan, make words not war, we also talked about what does peace mean and also like what impact our words can have. And our participants, who besides being so diverse with different backgrounds, also agreed on the common ground of the topic of peace.
I just use this very moment to say a special thanks to Naturkultur e.V. It's a beautiful association in Bremen, and they today led us through this creative writing process. So starting on just writing short thoughts and sentences that are mostly funny, we now ended up to speak about mental peace and what peace means to us and how we can achieve it. Therefore, before everyone is leaving, we're just grabbing them and asking them a few interesting questions. Stick to the podcast and enjoy listening.
Willkommen beim Peacemakers Podcast von IPYG Deutschland. Wir von IPYG vernetzen junge Menschen auf der ganzen Welt, um ein Ziel zu erreichen: Frieden. Wie wir das angehen? Bleibt dran und erfahre mehr.
So what does peace means to you?
Hope.
What does peace means to you?
Joy.
Olaf, why is that? Why is it hope for you?
Because peace is something that makes me grasp the sense of the future, how much our present is meaningful for generations to come, that will have a hope for not just us, our children, grandchildren, humanity as a whole.
I think joy connects to hope very well. If I think of the opposite of peace, war and violence and people being hurt, this definitely makes me unhappy thinking of these things, being aware that this is happening in the world. So the opposite is then the thing that I would feel joy if there's peace in the world. But peace comes in different aspects, I think. Something we talked about today is this inner peace, also the way we feel inside, the thoughts that we have, that this also connects with joy and, as you said, hope.
What would you say? What does peace mean to you?
Well, to me, peace is something people have to fight for, and you can't take peace for granted. Peace is also something people yearn for and people long for, many people, and peace means joy. It also means love, and peace means silence also to me.
Thank you.
Peace for me is to be able to live in a place where the authorities, the government, doesn't have any biased agenda towards certain group of people. And for me, peace is to be able to live without any hostile environment. Yeah, for me, peace is to be able to live with my family. This is peace for me.
For me, peace really means that I am peaceful within myself, but I'm not keeping it for myself, but I am spreading it. Also, I can be who I am. There is no judging. Everyone is different within themselves, and if we can be ourselves, this is also peace, because then this diversity creates harmony, or it's like existing in harmony. And I think this is very, very important for us as individuals, but also as a community. Yeah.
You just mentioned that we talked about it today. We did a creative writing workshop, so actually we wrote down words. When was the last moment for you guys that you felt that words make a change? It can be something you read, you heard.
I am an historian, so at least I try to be one, and I think that the moment where the ink pays through for the future was in reality much closer in our time. Every time there is a peace deal, every time there is a new treaty, also in the normal day-to-day life, through a message of love, that's a new way of finding peace.
I think creating peace connects closely to our actions. And one example I had to think of when you asked when was the last time words affected the way you think about peace, or I had to think of a time when I was, I think, 11 years old. I was a naughty child, and my mother, she said something to me. She said, "I love you, you are my daughter, but I don't like you right now, the way you're acting." And those words had an effect on me in a way that I changed the way I was acting. And it made me think of this because the way we act, it has an effect on whether I myself feel peaceful, whether others feel peaceful. And to achieve peace maybe can be achieved when we use the right words to cause ourselves to change our actions, but also have an effect on others to change their actions.
Because we were talking about words, we produced words today. Our motto was to make words instead of war. What do you think are words that help you personally to be a more peaceful person?
Words and also action that come to my mind are meditation, silence, and also love, friendship, standing up for other people. We also talked about solidarity today.
Actually, you have a point there, because I once wrote a quote that summarizes very well what you just said, that words can actually build up walls, but they can also be a bridge. Is that something you agree on too?
No. I think in these instances there must not be a bridge. There must be a full road paved through it.
May I ask in what context you mean this?
In every context, not just the mind, but also the day-to-day thoughts and inner direction of the individual, so to say.
You said you want to build the whole path. Can you be more precise on where is this path leading to in your mind? And what are the ways to do this? What are the steps?
So every time a road is built, there is a new connection. There is a new bright. There is a new form of innovation. That is why I said let's build a road to interconnect. One would say that from many comes one. That's the goal, to many different people, thoughts. We have to come together. That's the main goal.
I would agree with what you said, that we do need bridges compared to walls. When I think back on situations where I didn't have inner peace, I felt jealous or anger towards others. And if I had changed my thought, considering what I have in common with this other person, what experiences we might actually share. If we disagree on this one aspect, would we maybe agree on another one? At least in my mind, I would have started building bridges instead of building up walls and locking other people out, locking myself in a room for myself, in a sense. And I think as a society, to be able to create peace, it starts with connecting with one another and letting there be peace in myself, but also with one another. And I think this bridge sounds like a nice symbol, a nice metaphor to do this.
So both of you actually shared the same vision. You just put it in different words, right?
I mean, the word is so different.
Do you think building a road is another way than building a bridge?
The bridge is on top of something, okay? Like on something that flows, is ever changing. A road is instead on top of something that remains, the pure earth. But the river, as the ancient Greeks said, pantherei, they all are ever flowing. That's why when the river becomes big, the bridge might fall down. A road does not. The road remains.
Ooh, okay. You're emphasizing on something which is like thinking one step further of like this bridge then should be solid, right? So it should be based on a common ground. Actually, something that just comes up in my mind, which is an interesting way we can say things. What do you say is a common ground that the two of you can find also through this workshop, how we as young people can actually raise our voices for peace?
We've done a lot of creative writing today.
Yes.
I say, I believe, the Cicero said, verba volant, scripta man. It means that, the writing remains, the words flee, but the actions stay. Mm-hmm. So we have to bring what we wrote today into practice.
I think what us young people must be aware of, this is something that I learned today, is that everything starts in our mind. Mm-hmm. And if we are aware of what our thoughts are, what our hopes are, then if we become aware that our thoughts might not be going in the right direction, or, for example, sometimes we are very self-critical, we are very judgmental of other people. If these kinds of negative thoughts are within us, this doesn't help us move towards peace. And this is something I learned today, and I would very much want to share with other like-minded people who are also young like us. It doesn't matter, any age actually. That maybe we can start thinking positive, think outside of the box, and become aware of our thoughts where we think things are impossible, and become aware that whatever we think is impossible, it is actually possible. So many of us think, a peaceful society isn't possible because we haven't ever actually experienced it. A peaceful world isn't possible because we've never experienced it. There have always been wars going on, always people who disagree with one another. But if we think outside the box, actually, what we think is originally impossible, if we think, okay, what if it actually were possible? What would the result be? What could the steps be towards this? If we readjust our thinking, then I think all of us can find this common ground and achieve this goal that I think every one of us wants, that we are a peaceful world. Whoever put up their hand and say, I want war, I want disagreement, I want to fight. Nobody wants that. So I think this is what I take from today. I can change my thoughts so that I think in a positive way, outside of the box, and start thinking that things are possible that I thought were impossible before.
Thank you for sharing. I think we also experienced today that writing can start something. It can start something of what you said, Olaf, that we afterwards can act according to what we wrote down, but it also starts thinking, and both is in a way needed to path our road or solid bridge to achieve what we actually all want. So now we spoke a lot. What do you guys think? Where is it a better option to stay silent?
Do you know the silent treatment? If someone is mad at you and he's ignoring you, that's the silent treatment.
Yes.
And I think this could be also be a protest that we could do if something is happening or is being decided, for example, from people with more power, and we want to raise our voice, but our voice is not being listened. I think we should give them the silent treatment. So we should protest in this way, because words have power, but also our silence can have power.
We did this protest in my country when the coup happened in 2021 in my country. We did silent protests. Yeah, people that day people didn't go out. All the roads, all the markets were like no one was there on the streets. We were all silent.
And how long was it?
It was for one day. Yeah, it was in Myanmar in 2021.
Could you really feel like the effect of it?
Yeah, the military, they felt this. People who didn't open their shop, their market, the next day they went to the market and like grabbed the people who didn't open the shop, took them with the military and torture them. Yeah, because they did the silent protest. Yeah, they felt the pressure. That is why they did this.
Very interesting point there, because actually this doing nothing, one could say, right?
Yeah.
Doing nothing was something.
Yeah.
And even to the extent, like they would not have say anything against it if it would not have this effect. So it's actually, while it is crucial, absolutely crucial, it shows that it's also a reward in a sense. You know what I mean? Like for this way of protesting. Wow. Do you also experience like not silent protesting?
When the military coup happened and people, kids, like everyone went to the street to demonstrate the disagreement with the military government. Yeah, they were chanting like slogans. It was so loud and so crowded. Yeah, I experienced this kind of protest also. Yeah.
Could you like tell a difference of the power they had, or is it hard to compare?
I think the level of going out and chanting the slogan is more powerful than the silent one. But silent ones also work. It has also effectiveness, yeah.
Showing that there are many ways to like protest and make your opinion loud, even though it might just be silence. You said sharing. That made me think of a question I would like to ask you guys, because we are young people, we are often not receiving the mic as we can speak now. But is there maybe something where you guys say young people should stand up more for? Like, what words should young people really say out loud into this world?
Equality, for instance, justice,
human rights, to be able to get places in politics also.
How can young people shape politics?
I think many young people don't know how, and they lack the courage sometimes. But
how can they?
They can do it like the old people, just like them, just with a little bit less experience, but way more energy.
Thank you so much for sharing and giving us more insight here, all the participants, and what words mean to you, what peace means to you, and how this is connected. To sum up here, I would like to ask you if you have the option to use the biggest microphone of this world to tell all the young people out there something, what would it be?
I will say, hey, we need to love each other.
My sentence kind of connects to your sentence, and it's you have to feel ordinary love in order to bring peace to the world. And yes.
Today, mine is just one voice, but in the future, in 1,000 days, will be 1,000 voices. In 1 billion years, will be 1 billion voices, and they will tremble in shambles.
Tough one to follow. Very strong. How about we change the way we think and change the way we act so that we spread this happiness? Because I believe that happiness, joy and hope, as we said before, they go hand in hand, and this can also lead to peace.
My sentence would be, I think, words of encouragement. Something like, what if you're doing exactly what you're supposed to do, and whatever you dream of can come true if you do the first step.
I think even though we might think we're just like one of a billion people, like a small person, but if we find people that are having the same goal or the same dream as we have, we can change something. And if someone is telling us like, oh, that will not happen and you're just wasting your time, I'm not wasting my time, because if I don't believe and if I don't act, no one will. So nothing will change. And like this, we will do a change.
This concludes our creative writing workshop of today. Thank you so much for joining. We hope we are soon on our next creative writing workshop.
I hope.
And then do everything we can in our power to make this world a better place. Thank you all for participating.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I loved your answer. We can do it like the old people. That was a great answer.